Hello, my friends. So today is part 2 on the feta cheese. I did have somebody say that the way the part 1 went was kind of confusing. I sincerely apologize. I did put in the description box below of that video, I put the recipe in there for the 2-gallon size. In parentheses is for the 1 gallon, of which I did. So I'm hoping that'll clarify a little bit. I gave the full recipe, parentheses was half recipe. Again, I do apologize if that became confusing to y'all. I did not mean for that to happen, so I am going to do part 2 today. This is very simple. This will actually be a long process because this is where basically we're now storing and we're finished with our cheese. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and set it up and let's get that started. Okay, y'all, I have really never made a professional video as far as making these things, so I will try to improve the more I make it. The more I do do-it-yourself items like this, I will try to get better and improve for each and every one of you. But I do try to be able to get something that you can make your own. I did tell you that I was going to weigh this, and I did, and very surprisingly, just by doing this by half the recipe, I still got 1.5 pounds of feta cheese. Y'all, this was so worth it for me to make it myself. So I'm going to now uncover this. I did taste it. It's not that salty, even though I salted it for the night. So I'm going to go ahead and just add my cheese to my brine. This has been in the refrigerator all night long. So at that point, I'm now just going to add this cheese to this brine. And this will store in my refrigerator 6 months to up to a year. Now, I don't think I would do this at a year. I got some cheese floating here I want to get out of there. I would not let mine basically do that. Personally, I go through feta cheese so much that it'll be gone even within 6 months. So, but look at this. You see all this? Now, all I'm going to do now is break these up in chunks like this. And I'm just going to add this to my brine. Some of this I'm going to have to break it down smaller. Nice chunks like that, and just add it to my brine. I'm going to give this at least 2 hours to soak in the brine to get that flavor. My gosh, y'all, this tastes so good. And I'm going to have to, I have more cheese than I need to, so I need to take some of this brine off. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. As you fill it up, the brine starts rising. So I can always, I'd rather be able to take some of this off than to not have enough. So I'm going to go ahead at this point, pour some of this brine out of here. Ooh, shoot. Wanted to slide across. I'm trying to reserve it in case I take too much off. That was not cool. Bloopers. Right there in front of y'all. Bloopers. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and push this down in here some more. I need to readjust that cheese at the bottom. So I can shift this around. There we go. Put in another piece right here. Yep, I'm going to have to take some more off of it. I'm going to try and do this a different way this time. This way, if I'm saving it, like I said, if it ends up being not enough where I don't cover my cheese, I can put it back in here by reserving it, and then the rest I can dump. I got one more piece, well, actually two, and I've got a good half-gallon of feta cheese. And all I paid at this point, because I already had the other ingredients, so I paid $3.63 for a pound and a half of feta. And there it is. I have just enough brine also that is covering everything. This is ready to go and to put it in my refrigerator. Now I am going to take my cheese chunks back because this is something I don't want to waste. Although they're super tiny, it still doesn't matter. Cheese is cheese, y'all. And that's it. Now I'm going to seal this off, and there we have it. Homemade feta cheese. I've got a good mess of this, and enough that I would absolutely do this again. Let me get this in the refrigerator, and I will be back with you very shortly. Alright, my friends, and that's about it. Making feta cheese isn't really that complicated, and it really isn't that hard. It's more time consuming than anything. Once you reach the stage of 16 hours holding out, even on your counter. Now I will tell you, you went through a culture period. That's when you added the buttermilk to it. It built up culture. So it would be fighting against any bacteria that would set up overnight. So this way you can leave it sit out. Now mine sat for 16 hours and it was ready definitely for the brine. Now again, if you find that it is too salty for you, it has to be in the brine for preservation. If it's too salty, you can always rinse it out underwater. I've done that and it does not affect the flavor. As a matter of fact, I think homemade feta to me tastes a lot better than what I get at the grocery store. So I would definitely do this again. This is my second time actually of making feta. I don't know why I keep buying it, and to me, I guess it just boils down for me, it's just laziness. It was just too convenient. But convenience is starting to cost me, and it's nobody's fault but my own. So I needed to make some more. I am absolutely grateful I did. This will last me a little while, and I'll just make me another batch. So I do hope you enjoyed this one. As far as the whey, I did keep the rest of the whey on my cheese because I can use it in several ways. It's a good nutrition to add to anything in your system. You can use it for your hair. You can use it to cook in foods. Keeping the whey is very beneficial. You can actually use it when you're making your bread or any place that you would require water, as far as in savory foods and stuff. You can use the whey. So try not to even waste it. And if at all possible, if you do not want to use it in any of your cooking, absolutely at least water your vegetables with it. It is super nutritious for plants as well. Chickens absolutely love it. I have given some of my whey to my chickens before. So there are so many ways that you can use cheese whey. So I encourage you to also find purposes for that, and then there's no waste in any of this. So again, I know this is a short video, but there wasn't much for part 2 except for breaking it down, preserving it off, and putting it in a refrigerator. Let it sit for 2 hours and completely enjoy your homemade feta cheese. If I come up with other kind of recipes to make up like this, I absolutely will. I do have one later on. I don't currently need it right now, so there is one more type of cheese. We've done feta, we've done paneer, but we have not done mozzarella yet. So I may end up doing some homemade mozzarella at the same time. I do have some other videos coming up of whole meals to cook, Mediterranean style and Mediterranean low carb. So I will be bringing up some more kitchen time in here with us together again to teach those, or not even to teach, just to share some of my whole meals that I make for the two of us. So until then, much love. to each and every one of you. I will see you again from Parton's Heritage Homestead.